Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to do the chapter number 3 from It So Happened, the supplementary reader. The name of the chapter is The Selfish Giant. It is written by Oscar Wilde. The title itself suggests a lot of things like selfish, what does it mean? Giant is a very tall person, you can say giant or ogre. They are also, you can say, they are monsters, rakshas. Okay, the selfish giant is the story is of a giant who is very selfish. Let's go ahead. Here you can see the characters of the chapter. Selfish giant. Okay, so the giant himself, definitely, then his friend the ogre, the Cornish ogre, then there are children, a little boy, the little boy, then the spring, the autumn, the winter, the summer, the snow. These are the seasons, but they are characters in the story. The frost, the snow, the hail, the north wind, trees, flowers, even these are the characters in the story. So let's go ahead with these are the new words. Okay, you can see here, giant is tall person, blossoms a mass of flowers, especially of fruit trees. Okay, mango trees have blossoms, छोटे छोटे फूल आते हैं. Okay, mango, okay, that is, these are blossoms. Autumn is a season when trees shed their leaves. Cried is not rona dhona, but cried with, shouted with joy, shouted with anger. That is also cried. Ogre is brutish, jungly. Okay, wicked giant that eats human flesh. So that is giant's friend. Cornish, because I am from India, so I am an Indian. So similarly, ogre is from Cornwall, so he is Cornish. Cornwall is a place in southwest England. Let's move ahead to the next slide. There are a few more words. Gruff is rough, harsh, rudely, surly. Okay, trespass is the one who enters someone's private property without permission. So that is trespass. Prosecute means legal actions, to take legal actions against the person. Please means very happy. Roar, to shout very loudly. Lion roars, tiger roars. Castle is a large building that is fortified. Fortified is there's a huge walls around it. Linnet is a small singing bird. Seized is stopped. Casement is a window. So these are the new words of part 1 only. Okay, let's go ahead. Now let's discuss the summary of part 1. I expect you to read, I want you all to read the chapter in detail, but I'm just giving you its summary in short. Part 1, there are 3 parts. We are discussing in this video only the part 1 of the chapter. So here I have summarized the whole part 1 into different points, okay, to cover the whole thing, whole content of part 1. You can see part 1 is giant went to his friend's place, that is Cornish ogre, that is his friend. He went there, and there was giant's garden. He lives in a castle, and there was a garden in his castle, a very large and lovely garden. So children were very much excited to play in this large lovely garden, but because giant was not present, so in his absence they started playing in giant's garden. After coming from school, after completing their homework and all that, they would assemble in giant's garden to play. But after 7 long years, giant came back from his friend's house. He came back to his place. Giant did, when he came back, he saw that there were many children playing in his garden. He did not like it, right? So he did not allow the children to play in his garden. He shouted at them and he said that this garden is my own and only I can use it. You all go away from this garden. So this is how he scolded the children. They got very much frightened of this giant and they ran away. So this is, from this act you can come to know that yes, this giant was he was selfish. Because of this selfish act, because the giant acted very selfishly, the summer, the spring, the autumn. Now, see, these are the seasons, but these are expressed, these are described as characters in the story. So, these summer, because in this part of England, in winter, it snows, snowfall happens, right? So, the whole garden was covered with snow and hail and everything. And because of that, if there is summer only, then this snow melts away, and then the grass grows, everything, everywhere you can see the greenery, you can see the new leaves, the flowers, beautiful colorful flowers. But because the summer did not go to the giant's garden, the snow did not melt, and there was no grass, no greenery, no flowers, no blossoms, no leaves, nothing. It looked all barren. No summer, spring, autumn, nothing no one went to his garden. Okay. And then and the trees and flowers also did not bloom. Winter, snow, then who came to his garden then? Winter, snow, frost, hail, north wind settled in his garden. Okay, they stayed there. The north wind was blowing very with a very high speed, and he actually damaged a lot of things in the garden. The giant's garden was in very bad condition. The giant was very sad, very very sad. But after many years, when once in early morning when he got up, he heard linnet's song. First time the bird entered his garden and started singing. Now, otherwise, for so many years, even birds did not go to the giant's garden. So first time he heard melodious, beautiful song sung by the linnet. Linnet is a small bird. So he was surprised. The giant got surprised, and he woke up. He stood up. He got up from the bed and he went to the window, close to the window, to see what was happening in the garden. And he was so happy, he was so much surprised that everything in the garden was so green, lush green, There were blossoms, there were flowers, green grass, green trees and all that. So he was very happy. Children were playing there. He marked that the children, the corners in the garden where the children were playing these were the patches which were green, but there was one corner which was not green in the garden because there were no children. Okay, so this is what so the spring entered his garden. Everywhere it was greenery, flowers, fragrance of all the flowers. Then when the linnet started singing, the winter, the hail, the snow, the frost, the north wind all left his garden, and the spring entered his garden. And the giant was very happy after that, and he allowed the children to play in his garden. So this is the summary of part 1. Let's see the question answers which are given in the e-Pathshala version of the textbook. So textual exercise. Why is the giant called selfish? Very simple one, because he did not want to share his garden with anybody else. He did not allow the children to play there. He was selfish. On one occasion, the children said, "How happy we are here." Later, they said, "How happy we were there." What are they referring to in both the cases? So this is very easy. I want you to read the chapter and tell me the answer of second question. It's quite easy. Third one, when spring came, it was still winter in the garden. What does winter stand for or indicate here? What does winter stand for? Let's discuss it later. You just try to guess after reading part 1 and write the answer in the group. Winter has been presented like a story with its own characters and the activities. Describe the story in your own words. Fine. Next one, was the giant happy or sad over the state of the garden? Again, it's very easy. Definitely he was very sad looking at the condition of his garden, because it was all barren, it was all covered with snow, there was no greenery, no blossoms, no leaves, no flowers, nothing. Alright, so he was very much sad over the state of the garden. What effect did the linnet song have over hail and the north wind? Definitely the hail and the north wind left the giant's garden. So these are the few questions given in the textbook itself. Few more I'll give you. I'll send it in the group to you all, right? You will have to find the answer to these questions. One more thing I want you to do, that in the beginning of the part 1, the description of the garden is given, right? I want you to draw the landscape picture reading these few lines. You have to draw the picture of a garden, giant's garden, reading the lines, reading the few lines initially given in part 1, right? So the way it is described, the way the garden is described in this part 1, in the first 2 paragraphs, I think. So that reading that paragraphs, you have to draw the giant's garden. So this is it. Okay. Thank you very much. Read the part 1 properly and try to answer the questions. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you so much. Bye bye.